chance to build it up yet. And it's going to be RPG with the first map, Infernal Shrines it shall be. Did you just have a mini lag, or is that just me?
I don't think I had any, no. But
okay.
we can definitely...
What time do you want it so I can resync?
Alright, so I'm currently sitting at 7.8.
Okay, I need to get up to you then.
Oh, you're
7.08 or 7.80?
7.80.
7.51. Boom. Perfect.
Sweet.
As we head into the draft, the A team with the first pick, first ban. As once again, as we already mentioned, this is a RPG map choice. And both these teams did look quite strong in their early days. But RPG, arguably looking a bit more strong. The A team, though, coming off of a match versus BTG. The experience that RPG got out of the way with on day one. In fact, both these teams have had a pretty similar run, actually, now that I look at it. Both have played BTG and lost. RPG have played against Team Nut for a 2-0. A-Team got their 2-0 versus KT. And then they both should have had one more match, but I can't see it. A-Team SPT and RPG, also SPT. RPG the 1. So yeah, almost very similar matchups so far.
Really cool to see. And speaking of the A-Team, we probably should have mentioned something before as well. It's the fact that they are one of the few teams who is consistently running Illidan. So, yeah, Illidan, while we traditionally don't really see him a whole lot anymore, not even in China, which can sometimes be described as the craziest region in terms of picks and their own meta. The A-Team, you know, Bruiser, their player, their partner in crime, they have run it several times, and they've even beaten teams with it that we normally thought were too good to be beaten by an Illidan at the moment. So keep an eye out for that one, ladies and gentlemen, especially depending on what kind of picks the enemy team is going for. We've seen it as a last pick, but sometimes we've also seen it relatively early on in the draft.
There's the removal, there's the pickup of the Garrosh, once again, can punish a Diablo effectively, but Diablo slows can be a really good way to slow down that Garrosh and really punish him if he tries to engage from a distance.
Yeah, one's Diablo or Murden, for a fact, if they go in too deep against the Garrosh. As you said, all it takes is one good combo and then a little bit of a follow-up percentage damage, for example, by heroes like Tychus or Kharazim, and boom, you've got yourself a nice tank kill. For now, though, Cassia, look at that respect band, Tetcher, against DSL. They do not want to let him have this hero.
And it's very similar from the other side. RPG, even though she is still quite high up in the bans anyway, they still ban out the white main. It's a reasonable ban, but the A-Team have been the team bringing her out the most and the team winning with her the most. So it makes a lot of sense to remove that. So now RPG, looking at the team of the A-Team, you think you could still maybe fit an Illidan into that. So let's see how they pick around that. They don't for the moment, as they pick up a Jaina who can take some physical armor and a Blaze. They have a fair amount of crowd control.
So they're leaving DSL's pick here up to last. There's still a couple available, but Cassia no longer in the mix. Raynor, he's also played a fair bunch of that. So is he going to fall back onto that Junkrat? Unlikely, I think, because they already have an ability caster with Jaina. Maybe the Sergeant Hammer. Let's actually see. Oh, and there it is. We talked about it. The potential double global, even with A-Team, if Illidan decides to go for the hunt. This is all of a sudden becoming a very, very interesting draft. And guess what, Tetcher? They would have loved to pick a Cassia here, wouldn't they?
They would have loved to pick a Cassia. They probably wouldn't have hated a Falstad either for the potential zoning and isolation potential, but that's been denied as well. So RPG, what is their option? Sergeant Hammer. If you got to pick something for Illidan to have to move in on, then you might as well just hyper commit, because why not? Currently, DSL has yet to win a game with this Sergeant Hammer, so it's still a risky call, but it has disengage potential. It has a potential unstoppable if the hunt is used. A good knockback to kind of waste a lot of the duration on Illidan's avoidance. So overall, the potential is there.
Honestly, Tetcher, I'm just very happy with the way A-Team drafted. Not only did they take away a lot of the weapons of choice from DSL, but they also, you know, they banked on their own strength. They picked that Illidan again with a false stack. We haven't really seen those two together, but I think it makes a lot of sense if you consider the overall playstyle. They could even go for a Hinterlands Blast for additional blow-up now against the Sergeant Hammer. Even a Mighty Gust might be good, though, to keep her out of position. And I'm not sure what to feel about this Sergeant Hammer. What is your take on it?
It's probably the best out of what was left, is what I feel here. They did not have many options in general. Like, I'm looking through a hero list now, and
yeah.
I'm not sure who I would have replaced
maybe?
it with. Tychus for tracking, yeah. The Hammer, I think, currently fits the comp better than Tychus, because even again, if you ignore everyone but Illidan, then Hammer works better.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, it's probably the best choice of what was left, but they would have loved the Cassia or the Falstad would have fit the draft a little bit better. But maybe they can play around this. Let's find out. It is a very squishy lineup with a triple assassin composition coming in for the side of the A team. And they are on our left-hand side here with Jada, Olele, Bruiser, Stugos, and Yeetskook.
Facing them is RPG, the rocket-propelled grenades with Free Show, MJ, Pa, C, and DSL. And Tetra, we get to cast Jaina against Jaina. Oh, how we missed it.
Oh, fun. Fun on the bun. But, like we said, positioning-wise and defensive-wise, this is a far better comp for RPG. But when it comes to raiding defenses, Garrosh is pretty decent, as is Illidan. So there is potential to be able to move in here. And RPG looks like they are adjusting to this. They've taken, instead of ambush, the extra AoE on the Sergeant Hammer. So this is going to allow them to push the lanes more effectively, and of course it's better on the shrines.
Yeah.
This means, and if you can keep those minions grouped up, this means that they're going to attempt to win the PvE race and preferably avoid the fights if they can help it. MJ slows the rotation of Yeetskook. That's going to allow DSL a couple more free hits onto this board. Needs to move though.
The only thing that worries me a little bit about the team composition here of A-Team, look at Garrosh, by the way, Yeetskook taking so much damage in the process, barely being kept alive here by Stugos on Decker Kane. But yeah, what worries me a little bit here is the fact that they don't really have that many slows, that many crowd control effects to make Raynor benefit from those bonus damage hit of the Ace in the Hole, right?
That's very true. That's an excellent point here, so they're going to have to play around that. I will say I just liked what Garrosh did. I expected him to throw him into towers, but there was already minions there, so it would have also pushed Yeetskook away from his own base, which is the knockback of Sergeant Hammer. So instead he just chucks him just out of range of the tower, forcing him to unsiege. He traded so much health for it, so it was not worth, but it was still fun to see. Olele getting absolutely wrecked by this hammer, and even some extra crit damage from Olele there, so very nice job.
Yes, Stugos right now on Decker Kane is working double time to keep everybody alive because so much damage had been being dealt here by DSL and Sergeant Hammer. Now we see an invasion coming in from Yeetskook. Great dodge by Sergeant Hammer. It looks like this Impaler camp should be RPGs. They even want to turn this around. It would have been a 3 versus 4.
We see Pop jump back to base here quickly, gonna grab some mana. Actually, no, he cancels it and decides to soak mid instead because he has 3 people pushing in bot lane for his team. So he needs to be able to be the soaker for his team without getting himself caught out of position. This is very sensible. The Impaler camp is being cleared up pretty quickly by Illidan, though, already bringing down 1 and second 2 are really low in general. Pa, he's not here to do much, just soak experience. He's actually going to burn a couple of abilities, which I'm sure he'd still like to port. So hopefully someone of his team might rotate up to mid lane to relieve him. Free Show even rotates in to help clear the lane, as Pa's going to rotate down and help his team.
I love the build adjustment here, by the way, throwing that mercenary out of the ring. But yeah, I love the build adjustment here, by the way, coming in from Jaina. And I'm talking about the hero, not the player. We see Winter's Reach this time around, so not going for the Fingers of Frost, which would have netted him more mana regen and damage after completion, but it actually gives that much-needed range. So that allows Jaina to keep herself in a safer distance against highly aggressive heroes like Illidan and Garrosh. So let's see how much value they're going to get from this talent choice.
I'm sorry, but that Garrosh throw on the Impaler camp was just really stupid.
It didn't even make sense.
He threw it over. The camp took much longer to actually cap because they didn't actually kill off the last Impaler until quickly. What they had to do is put Deckard Kane on the point so he could cap the point. He was trying to port back. His port got denied twice by the Impaler because it had vision off him, so he was on its point. Just, ugh, that was a disaster.
It's good, man. There's still a little bit left to be desired from those throws up to this point. Bruiser, though, going in very aggressively, takes a little bit of damage. Decker Kane has everything in check, though. The Dragon Queen has been unleashed, and Bruiser already taking almost fatal damage.
The Abundance very effective by MJ there as he moves forward with that Dragon Queen. 28-13 in favor of RPG right now, looking to seize control. Illidan comes in. Groundbreaker only lands on the DSL, is tanking through against the siege tactics, reverting the route. Jada just wrecking through this. Bruiser gets taken out during the friend or foe trying to escape. Falstad tried to wrap around the side to get some value, but gets forced away as the Punisher is picked up, and Yeetskook gets dove on. An amazing engage by C, and RPG take a triple kill the Punisher and this fort.
In true Nexomania fashion, that Punisher just said goodbye to Garrosh. I'm loving all that momentum, all that damage that the RPG team was able to build up here. And look at how aggressively they're positioning themselves right now. They realize, you know what, we just killed Garrosh, so we don't even have to worry about anything. Without him, there's nothing that you can even hope to do against our Sergeant Hammer. They're weakening down those towers, I think, very nicely. And that might actually be another tower line just gone like this for RPG. Huge value, actually, from this one push from the bottom.
Very sensible, attacking the right-hand tower, using Diablo's Firestorm, all of the AoE abilities, making sure they also hit the sidewall, so that if Garrosh did play aggressively, using his Indomitable to flip someone in, they had an escape route. Makes a lot of sense. As we do see them now, nice knockback by DSL and the speed boost. Jada coming in, there's the slow, and DSL knows he's dead, immediately runs away, gives his team the chance to escape, and everyone else is able to retreat.
A noble sacrifice, you know, DSL being a bro here, realizing, you know what, I'm not going to make it out alive anyway, so at least I'm going to allow my allies to run. And it was not like his sacrifice was in vain or anything. They actually got good value from this, right? They had an Impaler camp in the middle. They already had fast rotation because so much attention was being put onto the bottom by the A team. So towers are falling, minions are dying, and the experience is growing for RPG.
Yeetskook comes in, nice little stun. It's going to interrupt the port of Par, who I don't know what he expected.
Best throw in the game right now, by the way. Yep, I think that says a lot about Yeetskook.
Diablo pretty earlier was pretty decent. They weren't able to kill him off. But yeah, this Garrosh is struggling at least at this stage, as everyone else is able to head back into the lanes. Yeetskook playing very far forward. No one's in range, so even if he was able to like throw Alexstrasza here, no one's in range to actually capitalize on it.
Exactly. Not only do you need to land the combos in the first place, but you also need to make sure that there's a little bit of follow-up damage. What is going on here?
He missed the slow from the toss, and as such, Jada's able to escape. Good job, Par, there. As we see RPG, double flames coming in, Napalm and Lightning Breath, as they, with their level 10, push in for their second fort.
All right. The fountain goes down, the sieging has commenced, and DSL looks pretty much uncontested, unrivaled here. I love the body blocking, by the way, the protection and peeling value from Diablo, using his massive demon body to intercept, you know, skill shots and deny Garrosh from ever reaching out the Sergeant Hammer.
Diablo actually wrapping around the side, seeing if Stugos oversteps here. Bruiser will spot him, as does Yeetskook, as he comes in looking for an MJ or a DSL. Instead finds a Diablo. Diablo is going to be able to back up here, but here comes Falstad. Level 10's just been hit. I think he was trying to time a fly gust, but everyone was out of range, so he just didn't quick pick, or he didn't quick pick it fast enough. And as such, RPG disengage.
Yeah, this looked very much like a gust play to me, right? But as you said, the level 10 didn't come in time for him to actually choose his heroic ability in time. Now we see a Metamorphosis Illidan. No double global needed, really, when you already have a Falstad in your team. So trying to go for more team fight survivability, which I definitely can't blame him for if you look at all the damage that RPG has mustered up to this part, you know, with all that ability damage here, Jaina and and Sergeant Hammer. But yeah, it's going to be a pretty challenging task for A-Team to break through that Sergeant Hammer positioning, because they don't really have that punishment, you know. When Sergeant Hammer does move, they don't have a Junkrat, they don't have a Jaina, it was picked away from them. And with Falstad only and Raynor, I'm not sure if that's going to hurt enough for him.
Move in, good groundbreaker. Diablo comes in, a lovely unstoppable as Par goes down, but Sergeant Hammer is wrecking the backline. Cleansing Flame as well for good measure. And that becomes a 2-for-1. They're even looking for Jada to make it a 3-for-1, but Gust is used.
The Gust was used, saves Falstad for now, because the Water Elemental that you can see here was still being controlled by Jaina, even in death. So that would have eventually caught up to Falstad. But here we see the engagement. Jaina a little bit out of position. Actually, this time, a good engage by Garrosh. Nice taunt, nice throw into the backline. But this was basically what C was waiting for. A lightning breath hitting every single member of the A-Team. Illidan says goodbye, and that was all she wrote.
Cleansing Flame for good measure. Raynor was trying to focus Hammer, but Hammer was able to make it behind the ball, but not before doing lethal damage to that Illidan. And as such, the objective, number one, going to be taken by RPG, and we immediately see the A-Team begin to split push.
Yeah, They try to use their time to the best of their ability. You know, they're really trying to take some structures down while the enemy team is busy and occupied taking the shrine in the top lane. Jaina even using the water elemental just to stay super safe and defending those structures. Now, level 13, in my opinion, Tetra is going to be a very important talent here for Alexstrasza. You see the Pacify as her level choice. Very important. You can shut down Illidan's damage and movement quite significantly. So that should allow Jaina, you know, that should buy her a little bit more time to actually keep herself safe and sound.
Exactly. So we're gonna Jaina, who did not go for the frost armor as well, so has to play safe and has to rely on that kind of protection. As we do see RPG pushing in, Punisher still on just over half health as they begin focusing on the keep. Par has arrived from his previously dead state, and you can see that Hammer focusing a little bit onto Yitzcook here, trying to drop him low enough so that they can't counterattack. With Punisher going down instead of a minion wave, they should take down this keep, but they have to be careful. There we go, Falstad coming in, cast into the corner. What can they do with this? Bunker is dropped. Tornado trying to trap him in this corner as they turn it around, and Yitzcook is deleted by Hammer.
And not just Garrosh, it is Illidan falling next. Make it a double, make it a triple. Here we go. RPG is on the move, on the warpath. They're trying to use this opportunity now to seize it and go for that core.
Dragon Queen is dropped. This is gonna be Game Kendrick as RPG capitalizing, using a great bunker to completely counter that Mighty Gust engage, and they take game number 1.
All right, you know what? I'm sold on that Sergeant Hammer now. I was a little bit worried when I saw it in the draft, right? I was actually super confident in A-Team's Illidan abilities once again, but this was the first time it was being shut down. And yeah, this is definitely a nice game to watch from RPG. They have a variety of playstyles right now. No longer do they have to rely on Cassia all the time or Raynor, but that Sergeant Hammer has led them to victory twice in a row now.
Yeah, very nice play by RPG. That's only game number 1 in this series, but that looks good pretty much from start to finish. The Illidan, the A-Team's secret weapon, time after time, has been shut down.
It is no longer that X factor that nobody in the league really seems to be able to handle well. Right now, they're going to have to think about another strategy. It can only work for some time, right? And RPG, once again, I mean, it was just impressive from start to finish. I also want to highlight MJ. To me, right now, after seeing this game again, once again, just underlining how strong of an Alexstrasza player he is. Right now, I would actually say he's the best Alexstrasza in China that we have.